Hi babies! So welcome to my channel if you are new here, and hey, welcome back to my channel if you've been around and you know who I am. How are you? What you been up to? Let me know in the comments. I forgot to do an intro for the video that I'm going to be uploading today, so this is me doing that intro. I put this wig in for you guys yesterday. I also sewed it in, so I teach you guys kind of how to sew it in the video, and how to do like the wig cap method and all of that other stuff, and just some like tips and tricks that I've learned to kind of help my wig look better and look more natural. So if you guys just want to see this glorious 613 beautiful wig on my head, keep watching the video. Bye! Okay, so the first thing that I did was kind of twist my hair. I don't know how to cornrow. Don't come for me, okay? I don't know how to do it. It's really hard, alright? It's really difficult, but the first thing I did was this, alright? Now, because I've been saving it to do this, I'm gonna put some oil on my head, and I'm using castor oil and argan oil. I'm just gonna oil my scalp before I put my hair on, because I'm gonna be sewing it in, and I'm gonna be keeping it in for like a really long time, and so I don't want my scalp to be dry or any of that. I know my twists look a mess, but they're there, and that's all that counts. Okay, now that my hair is all oiled up, I'm gonna put my cap back on, and I'm gonna turn it. So this was my first time like tinting lace or anything, so I'm really excited about how it's gonna go. I used this, and I got it in the light warm brown. So first things first is, I actually need gel, but I don't have any down here. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do the wig cap method just because I think it'll turn out a little bit better. And I learned something new, that basically when you put on your wig cap and stuff, it's supposed to go like over your it's supposed to go over your hairline, and then you're basically supposed to put your wig on top of that to like kind of protect your edges. And that's something that I wasn't doing before, and I watched some YouTube channel because I've been watching kind of how to put this wig on, because I want to do it perfectly, because it's going to be in for a long time. So I'm just making sure that like the front of my hairline is completely covered. I have a really weird hairline, and I have like a crazy deep widow's peak. So I want to make sure I want to cover all of that, and then my hairline goes in like this heart shape, and it kind of comes out right here where I have like baby hairs and stuff. So I just want to make sure that all of that is covered, and then I'm just gonna let it dry. So my hair dryer is actually upstairs, and my ear is all oily. So my hair dryer is upstairs. So I will be right back, and then I'll just like regular wig cap y'all, talking like this is so hard. Regular wig cap method. You just wait for it all to dry, and then you cut it off. I think I'm gonna do something a little bit different this time, which is something that I did last time, is I cut here and kind of used this thick band, and I put it back here. Just because when I'm doing a wig cap method normally, I don't like how once you cut all of this off, this is kind of completely like what's the word? Like it just flops. It just sits back there. It just does nothing. So I like doing that and having that kind of headband because I really feel like it helps. So when I can see again, I will be back. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut. Okay, so this was the little trick I was telling you about. I've seen other people do this too, so I know it's not just, you know, my little trick, but I like it. The only thing is, I'm gonna leave it like this for right now while I cut up everything else. However, typically I learned that you should probably have it as far as like your lace goes back. So mine is a 13 by 6. So I'm pretty sure with it being right about here, this would be a pretty good stopping place for it. So now I'm just going to cut. Okay, so this is the wig. She is a 613. I got her from Amazon for 50 something dollars. It was like 55, I think, or 58. But either way, it was cheap. And it is 13 by 6. 13 by 6. I was thinking 13 by 7, but 13 by 6. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I've already tinted the lace. I want to try something out. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. So these extra like pieces and stuff, I'm gonna try to cut off the best that I can. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Ghost Bond and go around the perimeter, and then kind of take the back of a brush or a edge brush or comb or whatever you want to use, and just kind of do this little thing, and I want to see how that works out. If it would come out, if it would please. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm just gonna wait for it to dry down, and then I'm gonna do another layer, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the wig on, and then we're gonna go from there. So I'm going to do another layer of actually probably 2 more layers. That was like my first layer, just to get down like the just to kind of like mold the cap to my head. You see where I burnt myself? This was like the worst. It hurt so bad. But now that I have that done, now we're gonna let that dry down, and then we are going to go back in with another layer, and we are going to let that dry down, and then we're gonna finally put on the wig. So I will come back when the second layer is on, after this is dried down, after I put on the other layer. I'm gonna have to cut the back of the wig, and then I'll be back. So okay guys, so all I'm doing right now, I figured I'd show you it because I'm gonna be sewing on the wig, is I'm sewing down the lace, I'm sewing down the wig cap onto my head, and I'm using light string and a C needle, and I'm using this type of string because I couldn't find like the other sturdier one, but string is string, okay? So I'm just gonna sew kind of like all over the back in my braids, or my twists rather, and I'm gonna try to sew under them as much as I can, and just go slow. So I'm gonna finish sewing the rest of this side, and then I'll come back. Okay, now before the lace is cut, I'm gonna go around the back of the lace where you start seeing wefts and all that, and I'm going to sew that onto, not onto my scalp, but I'm gonna sew it on my head. So I'm gonna start at the ears, make sure they're like perfectly down, and I'm gonna go slow because I don't want to poke myself. And I wanted to use like lighter thread, obviously, because this is blonde hair and I don't want you seeing any of the thread. So I'm gonna go slow, and I'm gonna come a little bit closer just so you guys see what I'm doing. So you see, I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but the thread that's right here, that's what I'm gonna be sewing on. So I'm gonna be sewing right here as well, because this is where the lace stops around. So I'm going to take my needle, find that piece of the weft I want to sew into. Ouch. And I'm gonna sew into it. Why isn't it? Okay. Again, I'm gonna take it, find that weft. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, there it is. The weft's right here. I'm gonna go into it under my hair and pull through. Now with the rest of this that leaves this loop, I'm gonna loop it through. So it was on this side, I'm gonna pass it through, and then I'm going to pull it tight. So I'm gonna do that to all of this back here, as much as I can get to as possible, and then I'll come back around to this side to show you guys what it's looking like on this side, and then I'll be back. Okay, so on this side, I'm gonna do the same thing I did on this one. I'm just gonna go to the wefts that you can see right there, all those, and I'm gonna sew them, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I forgot to mention that I will also be going around my ear and around the back of the wig. So I'm gonna start on that, and from just going right here, I'm just gonna go back. So, okay, so all I'm doing is flipping my head around so that I can get to the back of the wig, if this will cooperate with me. Okay. So I'm just gonna sew into like the base, the bottoms of the braids, the bottoms of my twists that I've done, and then move to this side, and I'm gonna show you a little bit. So my braid stops right about here, I can feel it. So I'm just gonna take the, can you guys see that? I think you can. So I'm gonna take the needle, and I'm just gonna run it right through my braid. I have 5 twists in total, so I'm gonna sew into all 5 of them. And then with the back of the ear, I'm gonna sew from right here. I hope you guys can see that. I'm gonna sew from right there into my braid. So I'm gonna take the thing, the needle, if it would work. I'm gonna sew into the actual wig itself and then go real deep in, bring it back out now that it's in my braid, and then just finish off the weft. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do a couple of notches near the ear, or a couple of things near the ear, just so it'll hold like right where I want it to. So I'm honestly not even being that careful with how I'm sewing, where the thread is gonna lay or anything like that. I'm gonna also sew this part right here that's right at the ear. Ow. If I can get it in there. I'm gonna sew into it, get my hair, and then pull through. I'm gonna do that again right there because I can kind of feel that it needs to be tighter. So I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna come out this time completely and then go back into relatively the same spot, grab some more hair, and then come through, loop it, and then end it off. Okay, that should be fine like that. And then I'm gonna take the thread and just separate them and tie them in a little knot. Okay, so now I've pulled back my lace, and as you can see, like, that's that thread right there. I need to sew down the, whatever these things are called. I forgot. But I'm gonna go into my hair, and then I'm gonna sew like under the lace, so I really only need to get this small little piece. There we go. Okay, so now that the wig feels secure to me, I'm going to, I really like how I sewed this on. Look at that, look at that. Oh, I did a good job. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Ghost Bond again. I'm gonna put it on in sections, so I'm gonna do front half first, lay that down nice, and then do the edges, or the sides I should say. Okay, so I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on, and I need a comb actually. So I'm gonna run upstairs, get a comb. By the time I'm back down, should be all dry. So we should be good to go. Okay, so it has dried down. Now I'm just going to put it on. Okay, just so I can get this to lay down a little bit more, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my ears out. I do want to point out that this wig has not shed at all. The only reason why hair comes out at all is because I cut it. So I really, really love the non-shedding that we have here. So what I'm gonna do now that everything is cut, well, not everything, but now that I have enough for things to lay down, I want to really make sure around here is nice and down. I'm going to spray around my edges. And then I have my scarf. I'm gonna put my scarf on, wait about 30 minutes and come back, and then cut all my lace off. But I think it really, really, really helps to have a scarf or something handy to tie your edges down, because I really think that helps with the melt of everything. And it helps just your hairline look a lot more natural, in my opinion. In my opinion. So I'm just gonna wrap that up. And I already know that I'm gonna have to go back in with more Ghost Bond, but that's not a problem. Make sure that's all down. So I will see you guys back in about 30 minutes and we'll see what this is looking like. Okay, so I'm gonna part it in the back, if it'll part. And the one thing I like about this wig too is that I don't feel like it tangles all that much. I know it looks a little bit wild right now, but I have not brushed through it since this morning, about like right before I started this video. But look at this. All of those tangles gone. Like, if you know how to take care of hair, like, tangles really should not be a problem for you. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if you go slow and if you work with your hair instead of against it, your hair will work with you back. And you just have to go from the ends all the way up to the root. And when you feel something like this, go below it, comb it out, and it comes out. So I'm just gonna comb it all out, especially underneath, because that's where hair tangles the most. Now, from cutting around the edges and all of that, I did get a lot of hair, but I don't really count that as shedding, only because, like, I don't really think it is. So all I'm gonna do is go back and I'm gonna check around the edge of the hair and just make sure that none of the lace is up. Okay, so I'm not gonna flat iron it or anything because I really like the way it's like really full, and I really, really like that. So instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave her alone, and I'm going to spray this around my edges one more time, lay it down, and then by the end we should be done. All right, one more time with this. So I am going to let this sit under here and dry and all that good stuff. Okay, you guys, so I'm ready to take it off now. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to what I laid down, make sure it did lay down. All right, so I still have a little bit of like shine on my forehead, as you guys can see right there, and like around the edges. So I'm gonna clean that up with alcohol, but my alcohol's upstairs. It's not like I'm prepared to do a video or anything, or like I knew what it was gonna mean or anything like that. Take it easy on me, okay? Okay, so I think I fixed everything, and I mean it's laying like how I want it to lay, and I'm like, I have no words because I'm like so happy right now. It's like, it looks so good. I've had to wait. Let me just tell y'all. I've had to wait. Like, I'm trying to think, like at least 2 weeks before putting this on, because I had my faux locks in that I did myself. Had those in, and my boyfriend was like, Sydney, you're not getting ready to take these out. And I was like, okay, like I have self, you know, restraint, I have self-control, I won't take them out or whatever. The wig gets here and I'm like, I want to put it in. So I've had to wait, and that's why y'all are getting this video now. But I think it was a good wait. I kind of want to, bro, this shit looks good. I've never done a wig like this, y'all. So right now I am at a loss for words because it just looks so good. It just does. And I can do this without my lace coming up. It's a beautiful thing to get a wig looking right the way you want it to. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's a beautiful thing. It's still this part that's bothering me though. This part is looking a little wonky just because I had to go back under it with some of that lace glue, and it got stuck to my hair, but it's not bad. I love this wig, you guys. I'm not gonna hold y'all anymore. I'm not gonna make y'all watch me play with my hair in the mirror for about 15 minutes before I go upstairs. I'm playing it again in the mirror in my room, and then play in the second mirror that's in my room. I'm not gonna make you sit through all of that. I will, however, say, just get a good look. Did we get a good look? Are we good? Okay, so that is it for the video. I really hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys thought that I did a good job for my first time. Let me know if you want to see any more like hair videos or anything. And that is all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming to my channel and clicking on this video and watching my pretty face again and again and again. And I hope you come back for more. I love you. Bye.